Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please share this video, subscribe to the channel, it helps out the channel a lot, and I definitely appreciate your support. Now let's talk about some more Superman. Obviously, the news is going to be Superman heavy this week, seeing as how the film officially premieres on the 11th. I do know they have that pre-screening for the fan event. I believe that's on the 8th, and so let's read into some more Superman news. First, positive Superman review surfaces as another media outlet breaks embargo. So people are breaking embargo left and right. Very interesting there. We previously had a negative review of Superman surface ahead of tonight's embargo, but a second review has emerged which says James Gunn nailed it. This is an updated article as well, too. A second positive review has surfaced via GQ magazine. So maybe two positive reviews before that embargo, right? GQ calls the film one of the most distinct superhero films in a long time, with a tone that feels honest and true to the spirit of Superman, and therefore at odds with pretty much everything else in the genre right now. Gunn's approach is colorful, both in its palette and the costumes, proudly fantastical with flying orbs, robots, portals, and giant monsters. You won't find any controversial neck-snapping here. And so that was from GQ. Pretty cool, big establishment there and platform. Let's talk about what happened previously. So the Daily Beast posted a review a couple days back calling the film an overstuffed Saturday morning cartoon that was silly and overpopulated by two-dimensional heroes and villains. There have been other reactions that have broken the embargo in the interim, but we now have our second full review, and it's much more positive. The Sunday Times calls the film a triumph and says that after a long wait, this is the film the character deserves. Now, keep in mind, the word of mouth, positive or negative, will have a major impact on how this movie does perform. For instance, Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice opened to a massive amount at the box office, $420 million worldwide. Wow. It was the fourth highest worldwide opening ever upon its release. I definitely did see that movie on opening weekend. I was disappointed with it overall, but man, the take that it had, that's a great start. Kind of fell. Moving on into the future, obviously, it didn't keep up those numbers, and I think the studio wanted to make more off that film. Was it a complete flop? I don't think it was, but not what Warner Brothers wanted to make out of a clash of that significance. However, the film experienced significant drops, in subsequent weekends due to a largely negative critical reception and mixed audience word of mouth. It dropped 69% in its second week, considered one of the largest second weekend drops for a film that opened over $100 million at the time. The embargo on social media reactions lifts on July 8th, we've talked about this, at midnight, and full-fledged reviews will be permitted a few hours later at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, there are bound to be a few more media outlets that will risk Warner Brothers' wrath and will put out their reactions and reviews early in an effort to get ahead of the competition for SEO ranking. And we'll keep our eyes on that, ladies and gents. Like I said, going to be a big build-up to the release of this film. Funny enough, I was actually watching Superman 1978 last night, and I'll talk about that a little bit more throughout the week and when I keep reporting on what's going on with Superman. So that was a cool experience. I really did like the film overall, and for its time, I can see why it was so impactful. But we'll talk about that a little more. Ladies and gents, what do you think about this news? Some positive news coming in for Superman now, right? But everybody's breaking that embargo, so I guess they're just trying to be early, right? So I think we have two positive, one negative for the most part from the big platforms. We'll see what happens when that embargo breaks. That's going to be very interesting. And please subscribe to this channel to get the lowdown on that. Ladies and gents, please share this video with some friends, family, and colleagues. I definitely appreciate that. Ask them to subscribe and share. I definitely appreciate that support from everybody that's a part of the community here. And we're just going to keep pushing forward with the news, letting you know what's going on, letting you know my perspective on things. Also doing some breakdowns and think tanks that you don't see at any other channel. I definitely like to approach things from different perspectives, and I want to hear everybody's thoughts down in the comments about everything that's going on this week. Also, what do you think Jurassic World is going to do coming up this week as well? I want to see that second week. What is that going to do as Superman hits theaters? It's going to be some great conversations we're going to have. But let me go ahead and get out of here, ladies and gents. Thank you for listening to me, Neff, and be safe. It's Neff signing off.